Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So today we're going to be reacting to some videos uploaded by this channel called Food Shops. So over the past 5 days, they've released 4 different videos about me and Asmongold, targeting us for all kinds of crazy reasons. It's their content nuke, and normally I don't react to smaller channels because I believe they just want the attention, but in circumstances like this, I do feel comfortable reacting because I don't believe the extra set of eyeballs on their channel will benefit them in any sort of a tangible way because their opinions are just that bad. So what we're going to do here is react eventually to this video, which kind of sums up everything that's going on, and also they're kind of having a breakdown over the abhorrent like-dislike ratios on the previous 3 videos. And to give you context before we head into the final video, we're just going to quickly go over the first 3 videos right here and kind of give you a sense of what we're dealing with. So, video number 1 in this series. Asmongold is unironically bad faith. And of course, in order to prove that, they make an entire video in bad faith. And you can see the like-dislike ratio. It's not great. 20 likes, 200 dislikes. And this is, a video that neither I or Asmongold have reacted to yet. So this is just the market reacting. This is the video out in the wild. It's all natural right now, and it's still doing that badly. And with this, there's a lot to break down, but again, for brevity's sake, let's just see a small portion of this video where essentially they're criticizing me and Asmongold for talking about various issues like USA ID, as well as Gamergate and things like that. So,
talk, walk, and behave. Yeah, they tell you everything to do. These are the people that want to tone police you. They want to tell you what words you can and can't say.
For the record, these are the same exact people who cry all the time about black people and women appearing in their video games. The same goofballs who cried about a black samurai in an Assassin's Creed video game. Regardless, here we see another way that implications are veiled through layers of irony and purposeful vagueness.
Okay, so they're basically saying that me and Asmongold are freaking out over Yasuke. We hate Yasuke because he's a black man in a video game, which is not the truth whatsoever. People are not criticizing Yasuke as a character in Ubisoft's implementation of this character because he's simply a black man. They're doing it because Ubisoft, through their own actions, have made a very dishonest portrayal of this historical figure while also claiming they are historically accurate and they respect Japanese culture. Meanwhile, they're claiming he's a samurai when that is a very highly contested claim, and their only real source for that seems to be Thomas Lockley, who wrote a 400-page fan fiction about Yasuke with no empirical evidence that has been absolutely dragged by other Japanese historians. So, yes, people have a problem with Yasuke as a character in this game, not because he's black, but because of the way that Ubisoft has implemented this character. And you can see a totally bad faith argument that anyone who watches our videos would never believe for a second, and that's how they start off this whole thing, and they just, yap over and over again about USA ID. They have a big issue with us criticizing USA ID, and eventually they end the video by saying something along the lines of, they don't believe that Asmongold and myself actually believe our own opinions, which, okay, I guess, but that's kind of how they started off my video. This is the second video in the saga here. Apparently, he also sucks, and it's titled Reb Says Desu, is unironically bad faith. And you can see that the dislike ratio is not too great on this one either, but this is how they describe my content, and then I'll explain kind of what happened in this video.
Correctly. This ultimately brings us to Rev Says Desu. Rev is a commentary channel that often covers gamer news. However, if you look at all of his videos, you can clearly see they have a slant to them. His commentary oftentimes appeal hard to the anti-woke crowd.
Right.
We need to go into this analysis knowing that this is what works best for their channel.
Okay, so this is the classic argument people make. They basically say if your videos get views, you must be doing this in a very inorganic way, that you're grifting or you're doing something like that. I make these videos because I care about these topics. It's not just to get clicks. If I wanted clicks, there's other topics I could talk about that don't come with daily death threats and unhinged people constantly complaining about you, okay? I talk about these things knowing some of the backlash I might get because I enjoy these topics, especially when it involves gaming. Now, we also see what she's reacting to here, and she spends the entirety of this video reacting to a video I uploaded back in December, where it's titled, I criticize the gaming industry, now YouTube is silencing me. So what happened in that video is I was reacting to a situation where a previous video got age restricted, right? And I thought it was very unfair, and I made a video about it because that's what YouTubers do. When you have issues with YouTube, you make a tweet about it, and then you make a YouTube video about it, and that solves the problem typically. And that video, after I released it, within 1 hour, the age restriction was removed. Now, in that video, I talked about an observation I made about the gaming industry where a lot of companies want to make these promotions centering around Christmas-related themes, but they never say any sort of dialogue along with it that says Merry Christmas. They always use Happy Holidays, and I think that's just like a PC approach to things. It's not meant to be a super deep topic, and you can disagree with it. That's fine, but I'm just raising that for context because the video was age restricted as a result. And in this video, Food Shops claims that, like, I'm trying to morally grandstand here and have this performative outrage where I'm saying I'm being persecuted because of my beliefs and these topics involving Christmas and all this stuff. When I only brought up the topic for context to explain why it's so frustrating that I got an age restriction for sexual content. So that topic I covered was completely benign, but then I get hit with an age restriction and then that appeal rejected within 5 minutes for sexual content, including nudity, which obviously didn't happen. But they tried to, in bad faith, misrepresent what I'm doing. And also throughout this video, to wrap this one up, they basically try to gaslight the viewer into believing that I don't have any clue how YouTube works, but they do. They claim on the one hand that me going to Twitter and YouTube was just performative outrage that doesn't actually fix anything, and that the real solution was instead to go to the YouTube creator help on your main page and then talk to some consultant there, which is insanely stupid. That doesn't work. They pretty much have no power on that chat line. They can't fix hardly anything. 90% of your issues, they can't even begin to address. So that's stupid. And then they also disputed my claim that in January, there's definitely a downfall, a ramping down of ad revenue typically on YouTube because after the holidays, advertisers aren't as gung-ho with YouTube and their campaigns there because people they're broke from the holidays. They're not spending as much money. That's something that any creator who's been around long enough recognizes. It's a pattern. It doesn't affect everyone the same, but it's definitely a pattern that exists. In fact, I know at least 2 different circumstances where PewDiePie took the month of January off, and one of the reasons is that videos and ad revenue just didn't perform as well, and he'd rather save his content for the next month and take a break during that time. But basically, that's what they yap about for this whole time. A bad faith argument trying to gaslight people about things that just aren't true. But then we get the third installment of this saga. Asmongold messed up big time. It's over. Now, I can't even, criticize this too much. This is definitely a title and thumbnail I would make, so I can't say too much about that. But again, 24 likes, 139 dislikes. This video is talking about USAID, and Asmongold's reacting to a decoy voice video. And let's just begin by hearing her description of Asmongold, especially when it pertains to his increasing shift towards political commentary.
He totally has the freedom to explore politics on his stream. But if a very large streamer does cover it, I expect a bit more out of them. And so, where there's politics, there is Asmongold falling off.
You heard it here, folks. Asmongold is falling off. He has fallen off, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know about you, but looking at the Asmongold TV channel, I don't know, uploaded 18 hours ago, 1.3 million views. Every video at least getting hundreds of thousands of views, some hovering around 1 million, in many cases breaking 1 million, 1.6 million in 2 days. And then you got the clip channel, same thing with this, 900K in 9 hours, 900K in 22 hours, so on and so forth. He's also, just statistically speaking, the biggest political commentator on Twitch right now. So he's falling off. That's such a disingenuous explanation of what he's doing. But speaking of disingenuous, let's listen to this next part where she describes not only some things about Asmongold, but also Decoy Voice, who's catching strays here.
First, Asmongold's eyebrows do more commentary than him. Asmongold begins by watching a right-wing guy named Decoy Voice.
Right-wing Decoy Voice. Interesting.
Not to harp on somebody other than Asmongold, but his opinions are straight up trash. The objectively correct opinion here is that the US needs to clean up their explosives on countries that they interfered with in the past. It's like clogging your friend's toilet after going to their house and leaving without telling them. Regardless,
not.
Asmongold
Not the
seems to
same
watch
thing.
this guy a lot and makes goofy faces.
What are these criticisms? His eyebrows move too much. He makes funny faces. Like, damn. What does it have to do with anything? Like, that's not legitimate criticism. So, in this video, they're doing tricks on USA ID. I cannot believe anyone defends USA ID this hard. So, as Asmongold claims, and I agree with in many regards, the reason people don't feel bad about USA ID falling apart is because the overwhelming majority of their foreign campaigns were an absolute waste of money. You know, DEI musicals over in another country, or paying for transgender comic books in South America. Like, these things are ridiculous. And Food Shops here tries to use an appeal to emotion, saying, well, one of those programs that's going to get slashed is cleaning up bombs in Cambodia. And Asmongold's reaction is pretty much like, I don't want to pay for the sins of other generations. I wasn't even born within 20 years of the Vietnam War. Why am I responsible for anything going on here? Like, why would I pay my taxpayer dollars? Now, an armchair therapist on Twitter will probably diagnose you a psychopath for having that opinion, but that's the opinion I think most people in the world have. They don't want to be paying for foreign things going on that happened generations before them. I think that's a very human thing to do. But, like I said, they pretty much just complain the rest of the video here. And then we get to the good stuff. The biggest problem with Asmongold fans, it's your fault. Asmongold fans, you hear me? It's your fault. So this thumbnail is wild. White people weaponizing Japanese people, I guess. That's rich. Well, let's see what they have to say here. So let's get right into the video.
My Asmongold and RevSay's desu vids got a lot of attention from a bunch of haters. Don't want my videos to do well? Find them. Click off right now. I'm telling the truth. If you want to learn how you're helping me out, sit down, my little crispy chicken nick.
Oh, all right then. Spicy intro. Clearly, they're very upset about the dislike ratio on all these videos, and I guess that makes sense. They thought they had a little home run with these videos, and yeah, let's hear what else they have to say. Ow, my ears, dude.
The YouTube algorithm values engagement above all else. Basically, it values how long somebody can stay on YouTube.com. The common truth is that people who comment and like on a video will count as good engagement. But what if I told you bad feedback and rage bait also counts as good engagement?
I mean, like, sort of, right? Like, I know I've spoken on this many times, and I also know Asmongold's spoken on this many times. Like, yeah, I thank the people overall for making hate threads about people like me on Twitter or Reddit, because they're just helping boost the engagement of my channel. But that works for people like me and Asmongold because we already have a baked-in, settled, established audience to begin with who already agrees with a lot of what we do, or at least enjoys our content. And then there's also these people who are coming from hate threads and things like that who are never going to watch you in the first place. But also there are some reasonable people who come across those threads, they check out the content for themselves, and they go, wait a minute, this person's not as unreasonable as these wackadoos on Reddit are making them out to be. I'm going to stick around. That really does happen a lot with channels like mine, and I thank the hate threads and all that stuff because it helps bring over some reasonable people, and it helps channels like us out. But with smaller channels like this, it doesn't work that way, okay? There, you know, the people have that phrase, there's no such thing as bad publicity. I think there is, okay? Like, these videos, the like-dislike ratio on this is like the Snow White live action trailer. Like, most people are coming here, they don't like what they see. You know, the reasonable people don't like what they see. It's not helping you out in the way that you think it is. That's why I feel comfortable reacting to this video, because getting a 90% dislike ratio on a video is not growing your channel or making your reputation out there a very good one. I mean, this is a first impressions type game here. A lot of people see one thing or one video about you and they make their mind up about you on the spot.
Every dislike Every angry comment and every single angry
That's us on the
second
hamster wheel
watching
right now. We're being
only
played.
serves to make my videos get more attention. Engaging with my videos only makes my videos show up more on your feed.
What is this, like, anime villain monologue here? Like, relax, completely mind broken over a couple of videos getting some dislikes on them. Jeez, relax.
You guys are really not beating the retard allegations. The best way
Maybe.
to reduce the attention my videos get and to completely hinder me is to hover your cursor over my video and not click on it. By doing this, you're lowering my click-through rate. Impressions are the times a viewer sees my video on the side or in the search results. However, clicking on the video increases my click-through rate and makes that particular impression valuable.
Why are they so mad? Oh my god. You know, I think they're being like a little overly dramatic in this video, but that doesn't really work again because in the other videos they were dead serious. So I don't understand, and I think they got themselves into this situation by being the perpetual contrarian. You know these people, right? Who they find someone they don't like, and their belief system becomes everything that's the opposite of that person they don't like, even if it's completely unreasonable and stupid. And I think that's how they're treating people like me and people like Asmongold, where it's like, literally every single opinion they have, they want to have the opposite of that opinion, no matter how difficult it is to support that contrarian point of view.
It tells YouTube it's a popular video, and it will thus spread it to more people. I recommend doing your homework before promoting content you don't like.
Also, like I said, I think they're being like a little dramatic, but it doesn't work because, like I said, they were serious in the other video, and now it's like they're trying to play it off like, oh, I was just goofing around this whole time. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think you just got kind of barraged with dislikes and negative comments, and now you're trying to cope about it.
Fortunately, clicking on my video, watching it all the way through enough to leave entire timestamps for comments, probably giving it a dislike in the meantime, is really boosting me in the algorithm.
So I remember seeing this, I think this was on the first video. This person broke it down very well, actually. So like showing this as some kind of an L for people who are putting out a pretty good effort to criticize what you're saying. I don't know, just posting your own L's at this point.
So really, thank you for that. I think you guys may have gotten me out of my shadow ban state. So I do appreciate the Asmongold fans. As a kind reward,
What about the red fans, man?
you get to see my videos even more. Anyhow, the engagement would be worth it if only you guys left a good comment that actually meant something and actually refuted anything meaningful. Instead, you guys are
just
all
posted one of
easily
those.
disproved. As for people who enjoy what I talk about, then
You've been depicted as a soy jack. You lose, chatters. But anyways, they just go on and on. They talk about Yasuke here, and I want to listen to this part because it's really full-on copium.
keep watching. I appreciate you guys. Let's begin. So a Japanese historian, okay, a Japanese professor commented on this matter. So Yasuke, okay, was depicted as the Black Samurai in the new Assassin's Creed game, okay? And since he is one of the main characters, the gamers go on in full force, okay? Now, people are mainly using, the main excuse they're using is that it's historically inaccurate.
It is.
Okay? That's not true. This is a topic of debate. There's a lot of Japanese people on Twitter, all right? And for the record, a lot of these people are racist as fuck, okay? A lot of Japanese people on Twitter, all right, saying, hey, we're offended. We're offended.
They are very offended.
All right, but then this Japanese historian came out, all right, who is Japanese, who is not paid by...
This guy, by the way, I believe this is the guy who was exposed as someone who was supporting the Japanese Communist Party and also didn't believe in empirical evidence for history. Like, you don't have to actually prove anything through evidence when it comes to history. It's about basically telling a story. Yeah, there's a reason why this guy got absolutely trashed on. And then the other person they're referring to is, of course, Thomas Lockley, who we already talked about. 400-page fan fiction on this stuff that's been debunked. He also vandalized the Wikipedia page of Yasuke, changing the phrases from retainer to samurai, then using his own book as the source for that. How is that ever taken seriously?
anybody, all right, who is a professor who who teaches people, all right,
That's what they generally do.
literally said during that time the historical records are not accurate. They don't refer to anyone as a samurai. Why? Because they haven't invented the word samurai yet. They haven't invented.
I don't know what they're talking about. But the other point that they made a couple seconds ago was that people are trying to basically, it really was the thumbnail too, where they're saying that people like me or Asmongold, we're speaking on behalf of all Japanese people. We're treating them as a monolith who all think the same, which is not true. Basically, what's happening here is that we're looking, or people like me, we're looking at what the majority seems to think. And it seems very clear from a lot of evidence that a lot of Japanese people don't like the portrayal of not just Yasuke in this game, but Japan and Japanese history generally when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows. They have a million reasons to be upset. All the controversies, all the historical inaccuracies, there's plenty to be upset at. And if you want some evidence of that, I mean, just look at one of the trailers from Ubisoft Japan. This is the Japanese version. Look at the like-dislike ratio. It's looking like food shops here. Like 900 likes, 25,000 dislikes. It's not just, oh, a lot of people hate it. There's so much apathy. Only 900 people like this trailer. I mean, that's absolutely insane. So people like me, we see this and say, yes, I understand Japanese people are not a monolith, but it seems like the reception in Japan is really bad. And I think that's a fair conclusion to make right here on this subject. Now, returning to this, they just yap on, and just going over some other things, it's honestly a waste of time. So let's go to the conclusion here, the closing, and hear what we have to say here.
Yeah, I've taken an open-minded approach to his content, watched a lot. I do not believe.
Also, the average Asmongold fan dropped the ball. Like, that, wouldn't that make more sense for me? Anyway.
Gold is operating in a nefarious manner. He is trying to understand a lot about a lot, same as me. So I respect your video because I did learn from you too. Okay, this is at least a nice comment. Okay, this first video is pretty rough. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Rev says that's okay. This one has less comments. I mean, okay, guys, I just want to say that this video, all right, this video is way better. In fact, if anything, the best part is this part, okay? Not only...
Oh my god. Yeah, so apparently, this is the best video. This is the best we got out of the series here. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Obviously, a lot of stuff to react to. I found this to be pretty funny. I'm not trying to go over the top with this. I just thought it was pretty amusing to see all of these videos and some of the logic being used. But having said that, like I said, as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.